You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, did fireworks scare your pets and cause them to run off? Well, we got some tips to help you find that lost pet that you may be missing.
And KOAM offers $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of theft and vandalism. And
we've got ourselves some scattered thunderstorms across the area. We'll take a look at our thunderstorm chances today, tomorrow, and Saturday coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now 7 o'clock on this Thursday morning, almost 7:01. So a lot of us, or at least some of us, dealing with some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. No strong or severe storms this morning, but a lot of much needed rainfall. And the good news is this is not the only rainfall that we are in store for. And we'll talk more about that in our forecast. But also, we set off a lot of fireworks, and
we did.
It has a tendency to scare some of our pets.
The good thing, though, is that fireworks you should be done shooting off fireworks, because I think you can only do it the day after most places.
Yeah, and I know in Joplin you can only do it through the 4th. So
yeah,
so you shouldn't be setting off any more of them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, some area animal shelters have been dealing with multiple calls reporting missing and found dogs after the holiday. We talked about it last week, and according to dog specialists, more pets go missing around the 4th of July than any other time of the year because of the sounds of fireworks.
But in the 4-state area, another challenge is coming with it. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
This is all it took for Jax to run away and get lost. Only after 2 days, the 11-year-old corgi was spotted by a neighbor, but not from the lack of looking.
Just nonstop kept looking. We didn't sleep because he was just so important to us. We continuously drove around. We went house to house, knocked on doors, and asked everybody, have you seen him? And gave him a description. Me and my boss made flyers yesterday also, and I went around and put that on the fireworks stands, the gas stations. I even handed some out just so people knew what he looked like and had my contact info.
We drove every street in Girard. We checked the fairgrounds. We checked everywhere that we could find and hollered for him to see if we could find him. We didn't see him at all.
Jax is far from alone. Local human societies have been dealing with multiple calls reporting missing and found dogs after the holiday. But some 4 states area shelters are facing another challenge. SEK Human Society in Pittsburgh and Miami Animal Shelter, for example, can't even take in dogs now because they are at full capacity. SEK Animal Advocates in Arma shares a similar concern.
Our amount of work definitely increases. Like currently all of our fosters are full, but this last couple weeks have been pretty busy.
Susan encourages using social media and printing flyers to spread the word about lost and found pets, especially in a busy time of the year. That will help other people have the same happiness Jack's honor had this morning.
I immediately just fell to the floor and started hugging him, and it was just, I was so relieved I started crying because it was just, he means so much to us. I can't stress that enough.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
So glad that Jack is home safe.
Yeah.
Well, because the fireworks, some places they can continue for a couple of days, lost pet can end up far from his or her home.
So experts suggest looking in surrounding communities for that missing pet. Well, as we mentioned, we got scattered thunderstorms out there across the area. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us where those thunderstorms are. And as we've gone through the morning, last couple of hours, it seems like they're not moving that much, but believe it or not, they are. The good news is the stronger activity or the more severe activity has been staying off into west central Oklahoma. You do see we have a severe thunderstorm warning down here south of I-44 in between Tulsa and Oklahoma City. But for us, we're just dealing with some good old-fashioned thunderstorms. We're starting to lose some lightning. Some of these on the leading edge are starting to lose some of their strength out there. And here's a look at the last 3 hours of the movement on these guys, and they've been moving roughly east-southeast across the area. So we've got more activity though focused into parts of northeast Oklahoma, and these storms will start to move on out of the area between about noon and 2 today. And then after that, a stray shower or two might be possible, but I think for the majority of us, we're going to be dry. We're going to start to clear out. We've got a pretty pleasant evening ahead of us, and then we'll go into tomorrow morning. We'll start to see some of these showers and thunderstorms, and these are going to be remnants of activity way off in northwestern Kansas. So some of this activity could be on the strong, low-grade severe side as we go through our Friday morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, we'll see some redevelopment of scattered thunderstorms across the area. And these could be strong, possibly severe across the region. They'll pause, and then later Friday evening into the overnight hours, we'll see additional shower and thunderstorm development, and some of that could be strong, low-grade severe. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes. Tanya, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. A rollover crash in Joplin throws the driver from the vehicle. Authorities responded to an SUV crash at about 6:35 Wednesday night on South Jackson Road in Joplin. The SUV was traveling south on South Jackson when it left the roadway to the right, overturned, and ejected the adult male driver. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Female passenger suffered serious but not life-threatening injuries. Single vehicle crash turns fatal for an Eagle Rock, Missouri man. Authorities report the crash happened near 6 p.m. Wednesday night on Missouri 86, 1 mile south of Eagle Rock. An eastbound pickup ran off the right side of the road, returned to the road, and went into a skid. The truck then crossed the road, ran off the left side of the road, hit an embankment, and then a tree and overturned. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Missouri State Highway Patrol is investigating a couple of 4th of July drowning deaths. The patrol says a 6-year-old boy drowned at the Lake of the Ozarks on Wednesday. Officials say he was not wearing a life jacket when he jumped into the water, went under, and did not resurface. In Missouri, children under the age of 7 are required to wear a life jacket on a boat unless they are in a cabin. Troopers did not say if the 6-year-old jumped from a boat or a dock. In Clay County, Missouri, authorities say 22-year-old Carlos Antonio of St. Joseph drowned at Little Platte Swim Beach in Smithville Lake. Authorities say Carlos drowned after walking off a ledge in the water while swimming. Missouri Highway Patrol says during the entire 4-day-plus holiday weekend, they reported 8 traffic fatalities and 4 drownings in the state. That's up from last year's 3-day-plus holiday weekend when the Highway Patrol reported 6 traffic fatalities and 1 drowning in Missouri. Crocan Telephone Cooperative is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a vandalism and theft suspect. Police say thieves are targeting grounding copper, but they're also cutting fiber, which poses a risk to 911 services. Although the copper thefts yield only a few hundreds of dollars, the damage caused by cutting fiber is more significant.
Everyday customers paying for services, to stream services, for internet use, things like that, shopping online, retail business, all those services are interrupted, and you know, when people pay for those services, they take it hard.
Most recent theft happened west of Next City, Missouri, resulting in around $30,000 worth of damage. Crocan has reached out to salvage yards with no luck in spotting the copper. Joplin Police Department has an update on its search for a burglary suspect who was arrested and then released and is now missing. Police arrested 33-year-old Jeremy Blevins on June 28th, but he was released from jail before a warrant could be obtained. Authorities say he'd broken into an Alliance building in Joplin on June 22nd. They believe Blevins stole $730 worth of items and damaged plumbing, causing $1,500 worth of damage. They've charged him with second-degree burglary and first-degree property damage. Well, coming up, Charlene Patton joins us in studio showing us how to make a soy nut custard.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, we've got a live look from Frontenac, Kansas in honor of Frontenac Mining Days.
In Health Watch this morning, Earth just experienced the hottest day ever recorded on Monday this week, and that's according to the U.S. National Centers for Environmental Prediction. Health experts continue warning everyone to stay out of the heat and to stay hydrated with lots of H2O. But now a new study is shedding light on what could be lurking in our tap water at a time when we should be guzzling it up. Gary Baumgarten reports.
Water is just water, right? Wrong. According to a new study from the U.S. Geological Survey, drinking water from roughly half of all faucets nationwide likely contain PFAS, commonly referred to as forever chemicals.
PFAS are an acronym for per and polyfluoroalkylated substances.
The synthetic compounds are near impossible to break down. They've been widely used in many non-stick cooking products, various food packaging, clothing, and more. And over time, they've been seeping into the environment, as well as private and public water systems, especially if companies using PFAS deposit them into wastewater.
They don't break down for a really long time. And in terms of some of these in the environment, it could be years to hundreds of years.
And if the chemicals are ingested by people,
it may take 10 years almost to remove half of what you've been exposed to.
They can carry potentially deadly consequences.
It can cause like cancer, it can cause immunity problems, it can cause liver problems, it can cause kidney problems.
Study from the U.S. Geological Survey examined water samples from taps in more than 700 different locations. Samples were taken between 2016 and 2021, with higher amounts of PFAS found in cities. Officials hope the results will inspire people to treat their drinking water and have it tested.
We've had those scattered thunderstorms across the area this morning. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Down Joplin, we've got mostly cloudy skies out there, some sunlight getting through. We're sitting at 68. Dew point humidity up there a bit with some of the storms in the area. Temperatures around the region, not bad this morning. 67 Fort Scott, Iola, 66 Nevada, Lamar, 69 in Pittsburgh, 70 Parsons, 70 Miami, and 69 down in Neosho. And as we get our morning started, we'll continue to see a few of those scattered thunderstorms across the area. We'll go into the low 80s. Could see a stronger storm or two, but we're not expecting anything too crazy there. Now, those of us getting the rain and cloud cover throughout this morning are probably not going to make it out of the low 80s today, but for the rest of us who may only get a brief shower or storm, we're looking at highs upper 80s out there. Showers and storms out of here between about noon and 2 today, and then we've got a great evening ahead of us, mostly clear skies, warm, and a nice overnight as well as we drop back into the upper 60s and some lower 70s out there. Thunderstorm chances return tomorrow morning with a decaying batch out of northwestern Kansas that'll roll through. Some of those could be strong, low-grade severe with some small hail, gusty winds. Then Friday afternoon, we'll see redevelopment of showers and thunderstorms, and those could be strong, possibly severe with some large hail and damaging wind gusts. Then we're going to see those storms can redevelop again overnight Friday into Saturday morning, and some of those could potentially be strong, possibly low-grade severe as we head into our Saturday. So much needed rain chances. We just have to deal with some of these stronger storm chances as well. We hang out in low to mid 80s. Thunderstorms from Saturday could carry into Sunday morning. And then by the afternoon, we should begin to clear out. We're going to start to heat up next week. We've got some pop-up storm chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next Saturday. Leading up to that, though, temperatures climb low mid 90s out there. And then by Friday and Saturday, they drop back down again as we get back down into the mid to upper 80s. So we're getting at least a few breaks from the heat. And I think most importantly, is all these rain chance icons on here. We desperately need rain here in the 4 states, and we've got plenty of it on the way. Well, coming up, a Taylor Swift fan gained some internet fame all by hiding under a blanket. Yeah, we'll have that story for you. That's interesting looking for sure. We'll be right back, but first we got another live look from Frontenac in honor of Frontenac Mining Days. Flooring. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Our favorite lady, Charlene Patton from the Kansas Steel Being Commission down here. Welcome back to the show. We had you on just a couple of days ago for the 4th of July. Got a very special recipe then. You've got something new for us today.
We do, and it's a winning recipe. Plus, this month we're going to be talking about getting kids in the kitchen. So this is a recipe that they could easily do too. This is the winning, got third place recipe in the Heart Healthy recipe for the Kansas Soybean Commission at the Kansas State Fair. Do you want to tell us who it was?
Yeah, it looks like it was Margaret Miller from Burdett, Kansas. So this is going to be an exciting recipe. And as you mentioned, getting kids in the kitchen. That's important, too.
It sure is. And we're going to talk all month about how that benefits them and give you ideas. With this one, I have our sugar already in here. You're going to add the eggs. I've got 2 eggs that I've just slightly beaten.
Okay.
Oh, great. And while I start to mix that, we have a teaspoon of nutmeg that we're going to add to this.
Okay.
This is an easy recipe to make for the summer. And then you can see I'm just using a whisk and a bowl. So great for kids to do. Just a little bit of salt. There you go. And then a little bit of vanilla there that she has. We'll add that in there. Great. And now I have warmed 1 cup of just plain soy milk up. Okay. And I just warmed it for about 30 seconds just to take the chill off of it.
All right.
And we'll add that in. Great. And that makes our nice custard mixture. And then what I really like to do is after you get that mixed together, then I like to pour it really back into here because it makes it much easier to pour it into the little ramekins. Now this makes 4 dessert dishes.
Okay.
And you can use all kinds. You guys had these here. I had this one. And then you can see over here, I have kind of almost like little custard dessert cups. And I have one for you to sample. Okay. I put a little bit of whipped cream on top, and then she topped it with roasted salted soy nuts. So you'll get to sample that, but you put those ramekins into a baking pan just like this, and then it'll make 4 of them. And then I like to put it in the oven and then pour hot water around this. And then you're going to bake it at about 350 degrees, I think is what we said in here, 375.
Okay.
For about 25 minutes. And then take a knife, it's a custard, stick it in there, and that knife should come out clean and you know it's ready. Let it chill, and then you can serve it with some whipped cream and roasted salt nuts. She also gave a tip. Now I have not tried this, but she said she put it in the freezer and made kind of a slushy from it.
Okay.
So maybe try that this summer to have something cool and refreshing. But she got 3rd place, and just want to encourage everyone to get their kids in the kitchen. Maybe the kids can come up with a recipe for the state fair this year and enter it, something that they come up with and make with mom and dad this summer.
All right, sounds great. This tastes really good. And of course, if you missed any of that, we'll have the recipe, all that information, KOAMnewsnow.com. We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. He says. Well, the Grateful Dead has the Deadheads. Jimmy Buffett has the Parrot Heads. Taylor Swift used to have the Swifties. Now some of them are trading that moniker in to become legends.
It's all due to one woman who hid her identity so her boss wouldn't see her skipping work to go to the show. Ginny Moose has the story.
She found fame by hiding under a blanket in a long line of Taylor Swift fans waiting to buy concert merchandise in Cincinnati.
There are 2 Swifties here who shall remain anonymous, who called in sick to work.
It wasn't her dedication to Taylor Swift that made her WKRC interview go viral.
I almost named my daughter's middle name Taylor, so.
It was her dedication to her disguise. The Cincy t-shirt folks immediately labeled her legend. Then they claimed they found the legend, though some commenters seemed slightly suspicious, noting she has man hands and theorizing it's a dude. The blanket seemed inspired by sheets worn by ghosts. They come with prices and fights. In Taylor's anti-hero music video, her fans have been known to track down the exact same sheets at Target. At Taylor's Cincinnati concerts, there were sightings. Likely copycats saw 2 of the legends walk into the concert, had floor seats nonetheless. The blanket disguise reminded us of perp walks, where those under arrest hide their faces, going so far as to use their own hair.
And we're going to cross our fingers that work doesn't find out, right?
No, they're not. We're good.
Your secret's safe with me.
And if by any chance you want to talk, Incognito Queen, give us a call. We promise to keep your identity under wraps.
She reminded many of Cousin It from the Addams Family.
Now you can open your eyes, Cousin It.
Move over, Cousin It. This is the It Girl of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Ginny Mose, CNN. New York.
Maybe I need to hide my identity
I wonder
so
if
that work doesn't know I'm working.
you could put the.
I could put the.
You could put the green.
Oh my
cloth
gosh!
on.
I totally. Hold on. I could
The show is
easily
not over.
hide my identity that way. Well, that's something we'll have to do at some point. We'll give
Yes,
that a try.
this morning. Okay, well, as you know, Taylor Swift will be in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium this
Yeah.
weekend.
Make sure you get up there and go see it.
But good luck trying to get a ticket now.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, coming up, the Spiva Center for the Arts hosts a class where kids can make castles.
And we've got those scattered thunderstorms still across the air. Take a look at our camera here at the KOAM studios. Starting a little darker as rain chances get a little closer. We'll take a look at that when we come back.
By Oasis Salon and Day Spa.
I can't see anything.
Oh, yeah, the Invisible Man? Yeah. Okay, go into the, move to your right. Yes!
Cover your hands with it.
Give me my weather clicker thing. It's over here. No, I can't see a dadgum thing.
Right there.
There it is.
It is,
I can't. Let's see. What am I on? I'm on that camera. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's what we'll do for this.
I mean, still got like a bunch of cloth down here hanging out.
Your cloth.
Tuck it in your pants so you have a crotch.
1 minute.
There you go, that's better.
It's better, but...
Stay out of it, Gabe.
On the right side, it needs tucked in a little bit.
The right. Wait, my right side?
Yes. Tuck right there.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
You just had an invisible dangle.
30 seconds. Much better. I mean...
Seasonings and rub. The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. The National Fire Protection Association says fireworks account for more than half of fires in the U.S. on Independence Day. And now with the holiday over, the Missouri Division of Fire Safety has a couple of tips. And they recommend soaking all fireworks used or unused in a bucket of water before disposing of them in the trash. And they say we should not save fireworks from season to season. If you're looking for a way to relax your mind, the Spiva Center for the Arts is hosting mindful meditation classes. Meditation helps you control your breathing and heart rate, all while keeping you relaxed. Typically, the class is 30 minutes long, and you relax by listening to the instructor preach calming words and affirmations.
I found it really came out of necessity because I am a goal-getter and an overachiever, and that can sometimes be very overwhelming. So it helps me just stay present and focused and ready to do all that I'm interested in doing in a day.
The next mindful meditation will take place in August.
Well, now, just like that Taylor Swift legend, now work doesn't know I'm actually working. Because we can disguise ourselves too. We also have showers and thunderstorms out there for some of us across the area. The good news is we're not seeing any strong or severe storms with this activity. All of that's been confined back down into west central Oklahoma. We have seen some stronger storms in parts of northeastern Oklahoma, but nothing too serious as of yet. These showers and thunderstorms will continue with us as we go through the morning, and they've been trying to move off roughly to the east-southeast across the area. And as you saw just before the commercial break, after that Taylor Swift legend appeared, we have a darker sky here from the KOAM studios, our camera here. As more showers continue to move in, we're going to take a more in-depth look at your forecast, and we'll see if we can get Chris back here to work here in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
Chris, the legend, Warner. Well, some kids in Joplin got their hands dirty, getting in touch with nature.
That's a magnifying glass.
Yeah, you cannot put the twat at
On Wednesday, Wildcat Glades Nature Group hosted its first Wildcat Camp. Kids had the chance to learn about wildlife, plants, and habitats at Wildcat Park through hands-on activities. They also learned about outdoor skills and how to enjoy the outdoors safely and responsibly. This gives kids the chance to experience lots of new things.
Just seeing the kids get to do fun things outdoors, take a hike in the woods, wade in the water pretty soon. Just get to experience things that they don't get to experience all the time at home.
Watch your step.
Wildcat Glades Nature Group hopes to make this an annual camp. Create the universe of their wildest dreams. The Spiva Center for the Arts in Joplin is holding various camps throughout the summer, including this fantasy camp. Kids are given the opportunity to build and create things like blueprints, floor plans, and castles.
Well, I love their enthusiasm and their ability to let go, and they're not worried about who thinks what and if I do this wrong, is it not going to work? They're willing to dive in and tackle it and work together.
Fantasy Camp will run through Friday. And the Spiva Center for the Arts also hosted a clay camp. Clay camp began on Wednesday and runs through Friday for children 8 through 11 years old. Children got to make their own pottery and draw their own special designs on it. They also learned how to get their hands dirty by using a clay wheel and how to sculpt their pottery into objects.
I took out there at Missouri Southern when they offered it. My neighbor across the street invited me. She was one of the teachers. And when I was in college, I was invited to help teach these classes way back when. And now I'm giving back to my community.
The camp cost $100 per child. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, we meet a team who hopes to help with noise pollution by creating technology that absorbs sound.
And as we've been talking about, we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there, starting to get a little darker here at the KOAM studios ahead of some incoming rain. We're going to take another full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News. But first, I think we just might have more of the morning news right after this.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
We've all been there before. You're either trying to focus on work like I was just doing, or you're falling asleep and there's loud noises keeping you distracted or awake, Gabe. But hope could be on the horizon. I'm just giving Gabe a hard time. With scientists looking to create new noise-canceling technology that resembles wallpaper, making it thinner than standard soundproofing devices. Marianne Rafferty takes a closer look at why moths are the inspiration behind the invention.
Noise is all around us, from the blasts of recent 4th of July fireworks to emergency vehicle sirens and more. But all the noise is adding up. According to the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, noise pollution can cause insomnia, difficulty thinking, and chronic health problems like heart disease. But researchers at the University of Bristol in England are studying an evolutionary trait found in some moths to try and create new noise-canceling technology they're calling sonic wallpaper.
Moths have on their wings a fantastic sound absorber that has acoustic properties that outperforms our current architectural sound absorbers.
In the wild, bats emit high-frequency sound waves to locate prey. When the waves hit an object, they bounce back to the bat, letting them know where they can find a potential meal. To avoid becoming dinner, scientists say silk moths developed a special coating on their wings.
The sound hits the insect, and rather than being reflected back to the bat, it is absorbed on the moth, and that makes it largely disappear from the bat sonar.
Using a state-of-the-art particle accelerator, researchers are able to study the structures on the moth wings in fine detail.
We are working hard to translate this evolved sound absorber with its fantastic abilities into something that we can use at our frequency range.
Now, work continues on the sonic wallpaper prototypes. The team hopes to have their product hit the market in the next 1 to 2 years. Well, coming up, how debt delinquency may cause you issues when you're trying to borrow money. And we got another check of those thunderstorms that are in our area. We'll have the latest on that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:42 now on this Thursday morning. Looking at the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline, you can see the sky's getting a little darker out there to the west. That's just as shower activity is trying to move off to the east toward the Joplin area. KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. Now that's looking back to the north, so it's still a little lighter up there, but same view if you turned it to the west. You'd see some of those dark clouds out there from the showers that are trying, again, to make it further to the east. We're sitting at 68 in Joplin right now. Temperatures around the region, well, they look about like this. 69, Nevada, Lamar, 70, Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, Neodesha, 72, Chatopa, Miami, and 69 down in Neosho. As we get our morning started, scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue. We'll start to go low 80s by late morning as these thunderstorms and showers continue to kind of break down as we proceed later into the morning and afternoon. Between about noon and 2, the last of these showers will exit on out of here. Now, those of us that have been getting the showers and cloud cover all morning long, probably not going to make it out of the low 80s today, but for the rest of us who aren't seeing as much rainfall or cloud cover, could make it into the upper 80s later. All of us enjoying a great evening ahead, mostly clear skies, maybe a few clouds out there, warm. Overnight lows tonight back into the upper 60s, lower 70s out there under mostly clear skies. Then we tune to tomorrow morning. We'll see some remnant thunderstorms from northwest Kansas roll through early in the morning. Those could be strong, maybe low-grade severe, and then redevelopment through the day Friday will give us scattered thunderstorms all day Friday into the evening and into Saturday. And some of those Friday could be strong, possibly severe, and maybe some strong, maybe low-grade severe thunderstorms for us Saturday. Then those will kick out of here by Sunday afternoon, and that'll leave us partly to mostly cloudy, low 80s. We get hot Monday and dry out briefly. Temperatures start to warm back up, low 90s, with more pop-up storm chances by next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's a check of our forecast. Now we're going to send it over to Tanya Bach with a check of Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Subway restaurants plan to freshly slice its deli meat. Most of the stores will display a $6,000 slicer prominently near the counter, and the meat, including turkey, pepperoni, roast beef, ham, and salami, will be sliced several times a day. This brings Subway more in line with its smaller competitors like Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, and Firehouse Subs. Cheese, steak, and rotisserie chicken will still be delivered pre-sliced. To promote the change, Subway is rolling out 4 new sandwiches. Tasty. Well, a new report finds consumer debt delinquencies are on the rise, raising questions about whether we're headed for a credit crunch, meaning banks appear set to tighten their lending standards, making it harder to borrow cash. Shelley Malashi has a closer look at the troubling trend.
Missed credit payments on the rise and raising concerns about a potential credit crunch. Delinquencies rose across all days past due categories year on year, including credit cards, loans, and mortgages, jumping from 0.16% of loans in May 2022 to 0.25% in May of 2023. That's according to the latest monthly credit gauge analysis from VantageScore.
Now, as we move forward, I think it's highly likely that down market consumers will continue to face elevated rates of credit on their revolving debt and credit cards.
Higher interest rates have made borrowing more expensive, and as interest rates rise, the cost of servicing debt increases, economists say, making it more challenging for people to keep up with payments. And all that is putting additional strain on households already struggling to make ends meet, forcing some families to cut back on discretionary spending and making sacrifices in daily essentials in order to prioritize payments. Experts say if this trend of delinquencies continues, it could lead to a credit crunch. Lenders may become more cautious in extending credit, making it harder for you to access new loans or credit cards. And while the Federal Reserve paused interest rate hikes last month, economists say there doesn't appear to be any relief on the horizon, with the Fed expected to raise rates again this year.
It's going to be difficult for the Fed to sort of just stop and say, hey, we're done.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Shelley Malashi.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
This morning at 10, right here on Fox 14.
Well, the next chapter in the Insidious horror franchise brings back the family from the first two films who go deeper into the Further to battle their demons again.
Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the story.
We're ready to forget.
The Lambert family returns to face their dark past and put their demons to rest in the horror sequel, Insidious: The Red Door.
It's about relationships, it's about people, it's about real situations that go completely haywire.
The fifth installment in the film series marks Patrick Wilson's directorial debut, which picks up 10 years after the events of Insidious Chapter 2.
I was very fascinated in what happens to a family after this traumatic experience of that second movie. What happens? The plot of this film was less about a whodunit and it was really more about their relationships and what that trauma does to a family. So then you take that kernel of drama and put it into the horror medium, and then you can, create some good conflict, some good scares.
Ty Simpkins benefited from having his cinematic father work in front and behind the camera.
Patrick's played, including this film, my dad in a movie 4 times, starting when I was 3 years old, before the Insidious franchise. And I think that my best performances come out of when a director and an actor have a very trusting, close relationship and are able to communicate what the director wants and what the actor thinks.
Co-star Sinclair Daniel was intimidated joining the successful horror franchise.
It was scary at first. I'm a fan of these movies, and I have been since the beginning. So all these people that I used to watch on my screen are now in front of me, and I have to act off of them and, take direction from them.
Return to the Further when The Red Door opens in theaters Friday. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
My wife loves those movies, so I have no doubt we'll be going to see it as soon as possible.
I know you guys see a lot of the horror films. I
loves
haven't seen the Insidious ones. I need to.
You need to.
But I need to watch the first two, obviously, before I see this one. I think
Yeah.
it'll be more impactful that way.
Well, something that's not too insidious right now are the scattered thunderstorms and showers across the area. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us where those are, and they've been, again, confined mainly to southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and you can see where the bigger batches are, getting a little more organized rain activity here in northeast Oklahoma. Not seeing nearly as much lightning with these showers out there. As you can see, they've been kind of on a downward trend as they've tried to push off to the east-southeast, and they'll continue to decline as our morning goes on, and the rest of these should be out of here between about noon and 2 today. And then after that, we're looking at a pretty good evening across the area and a pretty good overnight ahead of additional showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong in the morning, and we could see some severe thunderstorms as we head into Friday afternoon. We'll take another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities report a single vehicle crash near 6 p.m. Wednesday night on Missouri 86, 1 mile south of Eagle Rock. An eastbound pickup ran off the right side of the road, returned to the road, and went into a skid. The truck then crossed the road, ran off the left side of the road, hit an embankment and then a tree, and overturned. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Well, authorities responded to an SUV crash about 6:35 Wednesday night on South Jackson Road in Joplin. The SUV was traveling south on South Jackson when it left the roadway to the right, overturned, and ejected the adult male driver. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The female passenger suffered serious, not life-threatening injuries. Missouri State Highway Patrol investigates the drowning death of a 6-year-old boy at the Lake of the Ozarks. Officials say he was not wearing a life jacket when he jumped into the water, went under, and did not resurface. In Missouri, children under the age of 7 are required to wear a life jacket on a boat unless they are in a cabin. KOAM Telephone Cooperative offers a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of vandalism and theft suspect. Police say thieves are targeting grounding copper, but they're also cutting fiber, which poses a risk to 911 services. Although the copper thefts yield only a few $100s, the damage caused by cutting fiber is more significant.
We'll still see a few scattered thunderstorms through the morning. Those wrap up between about noon and 2. Some of us with the showers will only make it into the low 80s. The rest of us probably make it into the upper 80s. We'll clear out as we head into the evening. Got a great warm evening ahead of us and a nice overnight too, upper 60s for our lows. Then we'll see some strong storms tomorrow morning, scattered strong to severe thunderstorms throughout the day on our Friday. A few more scattered strong, possibly severe storms Saturday, and they'll finally clear out by Sunday afternoon with more pop-up storms by next week.
Well, an Iowa man won the jackpot in more ways than one. Nick Miller recently asked his girlfriend to marry him, and she said yes. But that's not all.
A day later, the 31-year-old won nearly $400,000 on a lottery ticket. Miller says the morning after getting engaged, he was on his way to work and stopped at a convenience store for coffee and breakfast. On a whim, he decided to buy one of those $30 Insta-Win lotto tickets.
Miller went out to his truck and scanned the ticket on the Iowa Lottery's mobile app. It confirmed he'd won the game's jackpot, $390,000. Miller said he and his fiancée kept news of the win quiet for a whole week while on a family vacation. On Monday, he claimed his prize at the Iowa Lottery headquarters in Clive.
He says it's a good way to start his engagement, and I agree with him there. Miller says that in addition to the wedding, he and his fiancée have a house to fix up. So this will certainly help out with that project as well,
For sure.
and take care of the wedding and a number of other things. So that's great.
Cool.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.